Tea had been a long week for Daniel. As a single dad raising an 8-year-old daughter and juggling 2 jobs, weekends were sacred. Saturday mornings were reserved for pancakes, cartoons, and stolen moments of calm. But that particular Saturday, things unfolded differently, starting with a spilled glass of orange juice and a decision to eat out for breakfast. He and little Emma ended up at a small local diner, Rosie's Cafe, a cozy place with checkered tablecloths, friendly staff, and the comforting smell of bacon sizzling behind the counter. It was supposed to be a quiet morning. But Daniel's eyes caught something he couldn't ignore. The waitress was young, maybe mid-20s, with dark circles under her eyes and a forced smile on her lips. Her name tag read, Maya. As she took their order, Daniel noticed the way her hands trembled slightly, the quick glances over her shoulder, the jumpiness in her posture. He was no stranger to pain, or fear. He'd seen it in his late wife's eyes when she fought her illness. And now, he was seeing it in Maya. Emma ordered pancakes with strawberries, and Daniel asked for black coffee and eggs over easy. As Maya jotted it down, her eyes darted toward a booth in the far corner. Daniel followed her gaze. There sat a man, probably in his 50s, in a business suit. He was pretending to read a newspaper, but his eyes were glued to Maya. Every time she walked by, he muttered something low. Daniel couldn't hear, but Maya's face paled a little more with each pass. Daniel had worked security for years before switching to a warehouse job. He knew how people looked when they felt trapped. Maya's eyes screamed for help even though her lips said nothing. As Maya brought drinks to another table, the suited man brushed her arm as she passed. Not casually. Deliberately. She recoiled, then tried to act normal. Daniel's jaw tightened. Maya asked another waitress to deliver a refill to the man. She clearly didn't want to be near him. The other waitress rolled her eyes but did it anyway. It wasn't the first time. Every time Maya passed by that table, her smile returned, but it wasn't real. It was the kind of smile Daniel recognized from his own worst days, the kind that hid more than it revealed. As she brought their food, Maya's eyes met Daniel's, just for a moment. There was desperation there. And hope. Like she was silently begging someone to please notice. Daniel looked at Emma, who was blissfully focused on her pancakes. He stood up slowly and told her he'd be right back. She nodded, humming to herself. He walked over to the suited man's booth and stood silently. The man looked up, clearly annoyed. "Can I help you?" he said smugly. Daniel didn't raise his voice. "You need to leave her alone." The man scoffed. "Excuse me? I saw what you did. I've been watching you. She's scared of you. It's obvious. You've made her uncomfortable with your stares, your comments, your touches. You need to pay your bill and go." The man smirked and leaned back. "You don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you should mind your own business." But Daniel's voice was steady. "This is my business. When someone's being harassed, it becomes everyone's business." Maya stood frozen by the counter, eyes wide. The manager, a middle-aged woman named Linda, walked over, sensing the tension. "What's going on here?" she asked. Daniel turned to her. "This man has been harassing your waitress. I've seen enough to know she's afraid. She shouldn't have to work like this." Linda looked at Maya, who was trembling. After a pause, Maya whispered, "He comes in twice a week. Always sits there. Says things, touches my hand when I serve him. I told you once but..." Linda's expression turned hard. "I'll take care of it." She marched over to the man, who now looked irritated rather than smug. "Sir, you're no longer welcome here. Please leave, or I'll call the police." The man grumbled, threw some cash on the table, and stormed out. The diner returned to a hush. Maya looked at Daniel, her lips trembling. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you so much." Daniel simply nodded. "You don't deserve to feel unsafe at work." Emma called out from the table, "Daddy. Your eggs are getting cold." He smiled softly and walked back, squeezing Maya's shoulder gently as he passed. A small gesture of support. She smiled, this time, a real one. Later, as they finished breakfast, Maya came over and crouched beside Emma. "You've got a brave daddy," she said. Emma giggled. "He says that's what daddies are for." Maya's eyes glistened. "He's right." 2 weeks later. Daniel returned to the cafe with Emma. Maya wasn't there. When he asked, Linda smiled. "She's good. Actually doing better. She's got a job at a new cafe closer to her apartment. Said she finally feels safe and happy. Told me to tell you she's grateful." Daniel looked at Emma, who was trying to build a pyramid with sugar packets. He smiled, knowing that sometimes it takes just one moment, one choice, to change the course of someone's life. He didn't do it for recognition or applause. He did it because he knew what silence cost. And he wasn't willing to pay that price again. Sometimes, it takes just one person to stand up and make a difference. Never underestimate the power of noticing, of speaking up, of choosing courage over comfort. When you see